Shannon Fox, and you're watching Foxy TV. Thanks so much for tuning in, and happy Good Friday. I'm super excited to have this cast with me here today, and you know what? I'm claiming this Good Friday as Film Junkie Friday. From Monogamy Mondays to Web Series Wednesdays, I think it's only right if we claim today as Film Junkie Friday.
Fantastic. I agree. I'll take it. Thank you.
My special guests today are phenomenal actors, talented writers, and award-winning producers. They are the young, hip, talented, and young and fresh cast of the hit web series and addicting series, I might add, Monogamy.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, man.
So thank you guys so much for sitting down with me today. I'm super excited to have you on Foxy TV finally. I know it's been a work in progress, but we're finally here. And first and foremost, I want to say congratulations to all of you guys for all of your success with the show. I listed here some of the awards that you guys have received just from film festival season, and I think it's absolutely incredible. Just the work that you're doing and your craft and your talent, it's everything, and it's so amazing. And so I wanted to just start by listing for people that maybe haven't watched your series just how awesome you guys are. So Monogamy, for just alone in 2017, you guys were the winner for Best Web Series in the Miami Independent Film Festival. Yes. Shout out to 305.
Thank you, Miami.
You were also the winner for Outstanding Drama Series in the LA Web Fest.
Yes.
And winner of Best Web Series at the National Black Film Festival 2017.
Yes.
I mean, if you guys don't know, now you know. You need to watch because they're not winning these awards for any reason. So congratulations on that. I think it's an incredible accomplishment. And I can tell you, I'm a fan of the show.
Thank you.
Obviously, I've watched season 1 twice and season 2 once. So I'm definitely a fan of the show. So Ty, I want to start with you. Being the writer and the content creator and the creator of the show, how does it feel to have your accomplishments well known with these awards?
It's one of those situations where you don't think you can do it until it's done. Then once you receive the award, it's like, wow, I can really do this. So it just gave me the confidence to continue on. From season 1, I was like, I don't know how people are gonna take it and whatnot, but the reception of it was so well. It was like, all right, we got to do a season 2. Then the reception for season 2 was even better. Mm-hmm. So it's still a learning work in progress with me.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, how did the concept of monogamy come about? Like, how did this idea even transpire for you?
That was a funny story, right? See what had happened was during my selfish single days, seriously, I was dating this married woman, and we were at her house one day, just to save for time, watching Cheaters. Joey Greco came out, he does his little thing, we busted the boyfriend, and I was like, monogamy doesn't exist. She goes, well, what do you mean? And I was like, well, look at us. And she goes, I don't want to talk about it, and she just clicked the TV off. Mm-hmm. And then after that, Think Like a Man came out, like a few weeks later, and we went to the movie theater, and I'm very observant. So I watch a lot of men's faces. So after the movie, all the women went into the bathroom and all the men were standing outside. So there was this one woman, curvaceous, very beautiful, walked by. Now, mind you, I saw all of these men with their girlfriends and wives, but yet all of their attention was on the woman who walked by. Then as soon as the wives came out, everybody was like, at attention. And I was like, wow, this is a topic to talk about. So I started writing monogamy as a feature. Then a close friend of mine, she read the first 20 pages and was like, this should be a web series. You can just put it out there as opposed to a feature where it's just 90 minutes, mm-hmm. That's it, mm-hmm. It'll go on a shelf somewhere. But with a web series, I can prolong it mm-hmm. than a feature. So mm-hmm. I was like, okay. I cut up the first 20 pages into like 2 or 3 episodes. Then my girlfriend was like, you need to write more. Mm-hmm. So I wrote more, and sure enough, here we are today.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you went that route.
Yeah.
I never knew that story.
Yeah.
I don't think I knew all of that either.
But why are you watching cheaters while you cheating?
Yeah.
Like, what is that? Some sort of
No,
foreplay? I don't know
but
about
I was single though. I was
still cheating.
Yeah,
You still
it's-
cheating, man?
Well, yeah, but
What's
he's
that?
not
Whose
really a
idea
cheater
was it
because
to
he
watch
was cheating.
cheaters while you're in bed
You
with
know,
the married
because
woman?
But
Cheaters
she
was her
cheating.
favorite
But she was
show.
cheating.
Of course, obviously.
entertaining.
Obviously, it was her favorite show.
I know what it was. She was waiting to see if she was going to pop up on that show.
You know what I'm saying? She was trying to get discovered.
She was
So-
trying to make sure she didn't show
But
up on
yeah,
that show.
Cheaters was her favorite show, and she would DVR it too. So it was Cheaters and Family Guy, like in sync. So we would watch Cheaters, then we would watch an episode of Family Guy, and just I'm sitting there one day and I'm like, wow, monogamy does not exist.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Then from that story, then having friends, and talking to other people about their situations, then like YouTube was like the best place I can go for research, and I was like, wow, this is an epidemic.
Yeah.
Me, I'm in a committed monogamous relationship going on 6 years, but there's a lot of people out there who struggle with it, and it's tough. Some people can do it, some people can't. Me, the way I look at it is monogamy is about communication. As long as there's good, I sound like Dr. Grayson. As long as there's good communication and both parties are on the same page, I mean, you can take over the world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But somewhere in there, either party gets selfish or gets insecure,
That's very
and
true.
it solely starts to have an effect and just goes downhill from there. Sometimes it can be rebounded, sometimes it can't, but it's just something. And monogamy is genderless, it's colorless. Everyone goes through it.
Yeah. And I think that's the $1 million question you've partially answered. I think the $1 million question that a lot of viewers want to know is, from the cast, from each of you, do you believe in monogamy? Or do you believe in another direction of relationships?
I mean, I think it's a choice. I think it's a positive choice for most people. I don't think it's for everybody. I don't think it's natural for humans. That certain species of animal, some animals mate for life. Other species, sleep with everything in sight. I think humans are probably the latter. Especially the male human. So it's a choice, and if you're fortunate enough in life to meet that partner, to meet that person that inspires that choice, just like you might meet somebody who is incredibly healthy and kind of talks you into a healthier way of eating or living or quitting smoking or these choices that we make. The thing that makes us that makes the human the apex of the animal world is that we have this free will and this choice. We can make these choices to better ourselves and better our communities. And so if you meet that person that inspires that choice, I think it's a great and healthy choice to make. Myself, I'm married 11, it'd be 12 years this year. Nice. And to me, monogamy was kind of a relief. I mean, after being single for I waited a long time, and all of a sudden I had this energy that I used to waste, juggling phone calls and texts and, this one over here, all that energy is now freed up. Like I just give it into you. Like
Like,
and
who did I lie to?
I don't have to, trying to keep the lies straight, where I'm supposed to be. And like now, just like, it's a relief. Just, I found, the straight and narrow, for lack of a better word, to be relieving to me. But again, you gotta be fortunate enough to meet that person. And that's I don't know what, that's fate, destiny, the universe. I don't know, however you want to assign that, but that's not automatic. It's not automatic that you're going to meet that person. It doesn't happen for everybody. I understand that. So, but I got lucky. That's mine.
And so what about you? What's your views on?
I mean, I agree with what Leaf is saying. I mean, I'm lucky enough to have found my soulmate, and I've been married for a little over 2 years. We have a son, and everything's like fantastic, and we work together. We're a really good team in many ways. But before I met my husband, if you would have asked me that question, I'd be like, no, monogamy doesn't exist, like, you know, and I didn't think I was ever going to get married again because I'd gone through that at an earlier time in my life, and it ended tumultuously, and I was like, not going to do that again. But then, like Lee said, you know, you just meet that person and you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is right.
Yeah. So, Brandon, I have a question for you, kind of bouncing off of that.
Mm-hmm.
So, your character, Bruce, Crazy Bruce,
Yes.
I want to ask you, so, like, applying it to real life, for the Bruces in the world that are actually out there, they have that perspective of, you know, they've loved hard, and then they were hurt. They were deeply hurt, and it's something they can't let go. And so they either have a lot of anger or maybe resentment or just kind of that wild life living. I'm going to see this number of women, or it could be vice versa. It could be the other way for the Mrs. Bruces or the Mr. Bruces of the world. What's some advice that you would give to them, I guess, for them to believe in love again or a second chance at love?
Well, I think when you take a character like Bruce, he's a man with pride. He's a man with ego. And for Bruce to leave all these other women alone and to give his girlfriend at the time, Tasha, his heart, and for her to stomp on it, or for things to not work out the way that he wanted to, that crushed him as a man. And from there, he wants to repair his hurt, for lack of better words of saying this, I'm not going to feel better until I make someone feel worse. And I think a lot of guys, you know, for us, you know, we're taught that, you know, the big boys don't cry. You're the head of the household. You're supposed to run this. You still respect women, but you're supposed to run this and things like that. You know, and for somebody like Bruce that really got hurt, it was just tough for him. You know, for someone that's going through something like that, you know, it's the will of whether or not you want to trust again, whether you're able to let go of that hurt or lick those wounds or those scabs and things like that and to move forward though. But it's tough though. You know, it's really tough for guys. You know, you all take us back so many times when we screw you over. Oh my goodness.
That is so true.
I mean, you guys always take us back. You know, but I said this before, and Bruce is a good example of this. We can't take not 1/10 of what we all do to you all as females, and you reciprocate that back to us though. It's okay for me to call Veronica and expect her, maybe not to answer, but she's got to call me right back right away. But if the roles are reversed though, I'm going crazy. I'm going crazy. Where's Veronica at? Where's Jessica at? Where's Shannon at? How come she didn't answer her phone Tuesday, 3:25 p.m.? She always answers her phone 3:25 p.m. There's another guy. And then a lot of us guys, we create things in our mind of scenarios that might not even be there.
Exactly, yeah, that's
You
very
know,
true.
so, you know, going back to Bruce, you know, he's a guy that has a lot of anger. He is a guy who put his heart on the table, though. But he's found a life in prostitutes. He's found a life in calling women derogatory names. And for whatever sick, twisted, demented reason that is, that makes him feel okay for the moment. But when he sees Tasha again in season 2, all that stuff goes out the window. Because now he sees this woman who's in front of him that did hurt him, but yet he still can't get past the simple fact that he really loves her. And that he wants to rekindle some things with her though.
That's one of the things that I love about each character. It's so relatable and it's real life. You know, each situation is like you can relate to it in some way, or no matter who's watching, you can relate to that character in some kind of way. And I think that's what makes your series so successful is people are watching like, oh, I experienced that, or oh, I know that happened to somebody that I know, you know. So with you saying that, I agree, and I think it's words of wisdom from you. So I think your advice is you're saying for the Bruces in the world to trust again, let go of your pride, and to just be open. That's what it sounds like. That's great advice. I love that. Okay, so I want to ask you guys, what was the casting and audition process like? Because I've talked to we've interviewed directors before and, you know, actors, and some people have told me, you know, I didn't have to audition or I just got booked off of my reel. So you guys have really good chemistry here. So I'm really curious to know what was the casting process like for this cast?
Well, I put myself on tape for the audition, and then I didn't know that I was actress that played Tiffany in season 1, I play her in season 2, so I was a recast of another character I didn't know. And it's funny because the first day on set, I show up and then I park in front of Leaf and he's like waving at me like, hey, and I'm just like, I was like,
That's your
hi.
husband.
You're my new wife.
I had no clue, and then I talked to Ty, and he's like, oh, he's playing your husband. I was like, oh, and then he was like, oh man, Ty, what a good recast, because I look like the other. I didn't know if he thought that I was the other actress or that he was like, oh, you're playing my wife, so I don't know. So I was like, oh wow, that's funny. But after that, and we got that out the way. I worked off of him. He's such a great actor. There are some moments where there's improv and I just followed him, worked off of him, and it just worked out great. So, and thank goodness for Ty for giving me the opportunity based off of my audition tape.
So was everybody off audition tapes? Or
I was off of my audition tape too.
Yeah.
I was actually in a hotel in Nashville when I got the casting notice, and for season 1, because I was just in one episode of season 1, and I was like, okay, I know that I should like legit do this in like a studio and all of that stuff, like how you're supposed to do a self-tape, but I was like,
It was perfect, though.
I just don't have that at my disposal, so I literally did it on the hotel room bed.
It was good.
That's what my self-tape was.
Perfect for monogamy.
It's like your improv moments always work out. You just never know how things are going to turn out.
Yeah, you got to use what's there. I don't remember. The thing I remember, I was so small in the first season. I had like a line or two when I was with my first wife. But I only remember. I remember I was out of town when I got the job, and I was driving back from like the Bay Area or something, driving back from Marin or something, and the evening that I got back was the shoot night over there at the museum.
Wow, you just got back into
and
town.
I'd just gotten back into town, and I dropped off the wife and kids, and I said, I got to go do this thing, and I didn't know what it was, and just went and showed up for that evening. It was very quick, very light. Yeah. Like, it was just like, you could hardly even see that there was a shoot going on.
Yeah.
Like, I remember looking around, I'm like, am I in the right place? And then finally, Ty and I met for the first time right there
Like,
on
hey,
set.
how you doing?
Yeah.
All right, let's go.
We did the thing. I was out of there in like 20 minutes, and walked away.
Yeah.
And now here we are. That was how many years ago now? That was 3 years ago.
4
Yeah.
years ago.
Wow.
Yeah, 3 or 4 years. And yeah, so
2014.
2014.
and when I walked away from that,
it's been-
it was just that
because we
scene.
shot- oh, wow.
Yeah, it was just that scene,
Wow, so
and
it's been a good
I didn't
long
know, and then Todd kept getting, hey, I got some more script, and like, hey, here's some more stuff. Like, I'm okay, I had no idea what I was getting into, and I don't know that Ty did either. I think you were shooting that first season.
The first season was an introduction
Yeah.
to the characters. I didn't know a season 2. Like, I had a season 2 in my mind, but I didn't know it at the time. So I was like, let me just give an introduction to the characters. Then I started getting feedback. They were like, I had a friend of mine who I went to high school with. She sent me an inbox message on Facebook. She goes, I was the girl in episode 103, in the car where they're doing the stakeout.
Oh yes, I have a friend like
She-
that. That's
yeah.
why I remember that scene.
She goes, that was
She was
me.
like, "Girl, you want me to go kick his ass? I will
Yeah.
go with you."
And I had this guy on Twitter. He sent me a message and he goes, I was that guy in episode 2.
Wow.
Wow.
So you started getting that kind of feed, that kind of
Then
personal.
people
It's
were
real life.
were sending me like I was counseling this woman from Texas, like just so random. She was just started pouring her history into me.
Yeah.
I'm like, lady, I'm at work. Like,
Yeah.
I can't give too much advice, but I was like, she goes, are you a therapist? I'm like, no, every character is a piece of me. Even Lance, Tiffany, Sydney, Bruce. Bruce is what every guy wants to say, but doesn't. Sydney is, she wants to get out. She has something that she wants to let loose, but yet she's reserved. Tiffany is like a bunch of my girlfriends who has been through it with guys, but yet she's selfish and it's about her. So if she can't get what she wants, I'm going to go find it somewhere else. And Lance, he's you know, a guy who works, but yet he's mysterious. So you don't find much about him in season 1, but then in season 2, his skeleton comes out and it's like, whoa, I didn't even think that was coming. And my character Grayson is every guy who's just going through the trials and tribulations of dating, marriage, and whatnot. So I compiled all of my characters together and started writing.
Yeah, I love that, and it's like each person represents something, and I love that.
Yes.
And that kind of leads me to my next question. So between season 1 and 2, what's been maybe a most memorable moment for you between shooting either season?
My favorite episode for season 1 was episode 105 when it was Bruce, Grayson, and Patrick at the basketball court.
The guy talk.
The guy talk. That was my favorite episode because that's what guys talk about. I mean, it's not every day, but if you can go in chat groups or if you with your guy friends, it comes up all the time, and that was basically an episode to where I'm getting stuff off of my chest that I won't say, but I'm gonna let you say it.
Yeah.
And you know, people who know me, they'd be like, "Bruh, okay, we get it."
Yeah.
Season 2, you guys seen
206.
that was 206. That was 206, right? So 206. That was because you saw a moment. And a real life moment to where it was the guy taking her back, not the other way around. So that was my favorite.
And that was fun to play too.
That was
really fun to play.
Yeah, mine was 206 too. Watching Leith and watching Jessica in that real life moment of a husband and wife agreeing to work out some differences that probably me as a man, I probably couldn't get through it.
Yeah, I would have left already.
And to see how Leith embodied Lance and taking back, you know, not to give the story away to you guys, but a cheating wife, but also to see how audiences, Shannon, at the film festivals react to them.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah.
That is
That indie night.
amazing.
That was deep. Yeah.
To see people so engaged into this relationship of what she's done, also what he's done, but for him to set aside his differences and take her back, that was amazing to me.
That's deep.
And also, when you make that choice of monogamy, I mean, or a relationship, I mean, it's work, man. You gotta work through. I mean, that was a big, that was a very big dramatic obstacle. I mean, we're filming this, but that can be that can boil down to the dishes in a real life.
Yeah.
There's all these
And
little
many times it
negotiations.
Because people could be
all
on the fence either way.
Yeah.
With that.
And that's why it's got to be a team. You know what I mean? That's what where you mentioned. We're usually good partners, and that's what this is. It's a partnership. It's almost, a marriage is more of a business relationship sometimes than it is a romantic relationship. It's business, and you got to work it out. You're not going to throw out the baby with the bathwater.
That's true. It is a lot of work.
It
and
is.
that makes me think about asking you guys this, because I know the series is a great series. It's addicting. It's definitely binge worthy. But just shifting gears a little bit, there were some real world serious topics introduced into the series, like infidelity, rape. There was a scene of domestic violence, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So introducing those things into the series, what is it that you hope viewers take away from that?
I mean, for me, I hope that it just further continues to bring awareness to those topics, because they are very relevant and very real topics right now. And one thing that I love about what Ty's done with this series is that he's created very strong women in this series as well. It's not just the strength isn't just with the men, it's also with the women. And I personally, as an actress, really gravitate towards those kinds of roles, and so I'm so appreciative that that's a part of the series, and bringing strong women to the forefront, because I just think it's a really important aspect of film right now.
Absolutely.
And then even what Ty was saying earlier, when everyone was reaching out to him saying, oh my gosh, that's me, all the situations and all the different characters in the series, season 1 and 2, it can relate to everyone. Someone is that person. Someone's the one that's in an abusive relationship and may not be able to get out. Someone's in a relationship where their husband snipped, didn't tell them, and you know what I mean? Like, and that's a huge deal. Talk about dishonesty and mistrust, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Someone's can't choose to be monogamous. It's just not in them, or they just have a problem with it. It could be a sex addiction. There's a role for everyone in this world that can relate to a character in this series.
And that's why the series has been so successful.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, just as a viewer looking, outside perspective looking in, I guess, that's why your series in both seasons have been so successful. And that's why I love it. It's relatable, as you all have said. It's no matter who watches, no matter what age, no matter what gender you are, you can relate to some character in some kind of way. And I think that's why you are getting the incredible feedback that you're getting.
And I just have to speak to Ty and the entire production team, and to see these guys, it starts with a well-written piece, which makes it very easy for us to be relatable and successful, and then professionalism and production value, and then to see Ty and Brandon both change hats from producer, writer,
to
director to act, you know what I mean? And then and it's really interesting on set when you're acting with Ty, like he's just an actor. He's no longer the creator, writer, any of those things.
Yeah.
You see him go into acting mode, and that's right. That's exactly what he should be doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And not worrying about the lighting or the this or that. You know what I mean? There's nothing worse than being in a scene with somebody and they're looking at the lights around your head, or worried about the sound. He shifts completely over to being an actor, and so you just never know, especially when you're you hear the web series, the term, which sometimes you don't know what you're walking into as an actor, as a performer, and I think maybe many of us have walked into some bad situations, not maybe physical harm, but also just like, oh, this is gonna take all day, or it's so unprofessional, or I don't even want to do this now. It's never any of that with the Monogamy crew of you're walking into something real, you're walking into something pro and easy, and you're going to be with professionals trying to make the best product possible.
Yeah,
at the same time, there's an ease.
Yeah.
And you don't have that
That's fun.
big budget, time's a waste of me. Every 5 minutes is $500,000. We got to get this shot. Come on, it's a wrap and wheels up. It's like it's calm and that creates a good product.
I wasn't calm.
But you.
I made sure they were calm.
Yeah. And that's when you get the best work.
Yeah.
Brandon, he was very pivotal because there was a day where we didn't have enough people. I called Brandon. I was like, we're scrapping Simi Valley.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, we're scrapping it. He goes, no. I was like, we don't have enough people. I'll call you back. He called me back 30 minutes later. I got everybody. And he came through.
You just have to use what you have and make it work, which actually leads me to my last question, because we're just about out of time. But with you saying that, I always like to leave viewers with some wisdom. So, you have an audience of all ages watching your series, older and more mature. So for those people that are thinking about becoming an actor, or they have a dream of becoming a famous writer, what's some piece of advice or words of wisdom that you would leave with them as they go to pursue their goals and their dreams?
I would say never give up. And that's so cliche to say, but we're human. So even, especially in the beginning of your career when everything's so exciting, and you're like, oh, I know I can audition, 500 times, I'll eventually book, or I know. Sometimes it doesn't. You have friends that excel faster than you, or you could be doing everything right with your career, taking acting class, nailing an audition, but there's so many things out of your control that as a human being, you're like, oh my gosh, is this my call? And is this gonna work out? How long can I keep doing this? And then with that, I would say, don't wait for someone to open a door for you. Knock it down yourself, which is what Ty did. You know what I mean? Especially in this day and age, you, especially with women and the issues that are going on in the business now, you have to create your own avenue, your own opportunities. Because I feel like no one's going to, not being pessimistic, but realistically, I don't think you shouldn't expect anyone to, or even if they give you an opportunity, it's the one that you want or you gravitate towards, or you think, oh, this is my path. Like I would say, just create your own lane and make your own opportunities.
Yeah, I definitely don't think it's being pessimistic. I think it's being motivated. So I love that you say that. Create your own opportunities, never give up. Brandon, what about you?
For me, we hear think outside the box. Just come with it. Just there is no box. There is no box whatsoever. There is no more tunnel vision. I'm just a writer. I'm just an actor. I'm just producer. No, you can wear many hats.
Yeah.
And I use myself as an example of auditioning with him in 2014, and then coming on as an executive producer for season 2. We never thought that we would see the award nominations and winning the awards, and we're up for 8 awards at this coming 2018 LA Web Fest. We didn't see that. So there is no box. There aren't any limitations, and know that you can stand toe to toe with anybody else. It doesn't matter network. It doesn't matter studio. It doesn't really matter. You can stand toe to toe with anybody else, though. You just have to believe in yourself, like really though.
Yeah.
You got to be the best you. And that's my advice. Just being the best you. And like Jessica said, you can't give up. I mean, because it's frustrating, Shannon. I mean, it's. I know we all have these conversations. It is frustrating. Oh my goodness. But when it's your time, it's your time. And you got to take advantage of that time. Is it?
Maximize it when it comes.
And on that, kind of piggybacking on what you said and also what Jess said, is gratitude. So always be grateful, which sometimes when things are sort of at a low point in your career, or you're not getting the auditions or the bookings or whatever that you want to get, I'm speaking now as an actor, but sometimes it's really easy to slip into the entitlement sort of thing of like, well, I've done this and this and this and I should be doing this. And if you're approaching everything with just an attitude of gratitude, then more things are going to come your way. And I guarantee also that there's some person in some place in Ohio that's looking at like what we've done and they're like, oh, I wish.
They're aspiring.
You know what I mean? And we're looking at what other people that we aspire to are doing, and we're like, oh, I wish.
And
It's all relative.
They reach out to us all the time. Hey, when are you guys casting again? Oh my God, I would love to be this. Hey, if there's if you think of anything, just let me know.
Great. That means your work is reaching people. It's reaching across communities and cities and countries.
And we're inspiring people. That's another thing.
It's nice to be part of.
That's huge.
Yeah. You guys have left us with some incredible words of wisdom. Never give up. Believe in yourself. Kick down that box. I really like that.
There is no box. There is no box.
I like that. I'm going to have to use that.
Crush the box.
That's right.
Create your own opportunities. And I think all that wisdom has shown in the success of your show. And so the last question I have for you guys, the $1 million question we all want to know. I am absolutely dying to know. When is season 3 coming? And when can we see the trailer? Because I've been looking at the channel, Creative Control Productions.
I'm definitely working on a season 3. It's when you have a lot of stuff on your plate and you want to get stuff done. I'm not saying season 3 is put to the side, but I mean, the elephant in the room is funding. So we're working on a GoFundMe, and that should be up in like the next week or so, and we'll all blast it out, and basically we're trying to raise enough money to do season 3. I funded season 1, season 2. I worked 16-hour days. I worked last night, got off work, left work early to come here, and still to put money aside for future projects. So I say all that to say, yes, season 3 is coming.
Yes.
But we need your help
Yes.
to get it made. So
stay tuned.
Definitely. And season 2 is gonna be crazy.
But the greatest thing
Season 3.
Season 3 is gonna Season 2 was crazy. Season 3 is gonna be even crazier.
The things that take time or the most time turn out to be the most incredible thing ever. So
It's
You
gonna be
can't
good.
rush
it's,
greatness.
when it
gonna
comes,
be-
it's gonna come.
It's gonna be
So
good.
I already know, your YouTube channel and website, but just shout it out one more time, maybe for people that want to watch that haven't watched, or if you're like me and you just want to watch again.
You can go to monogamywebseries.com, or you can go on YouTube / Creative Control Productions TV.
Or, I'm proud to announce that we are now on a streaming network. We're on the On channel.
I
Yes.
saw that on Instagram.
Yes.
And
Congratulations.
the On channel, based out of New York, has given us an opportunity to put Monogamy on the platform. So there are 3 ways you can watch Monogamy.
Yes.
So you can
Boom.
and subscribe to all of them if you want.
Yes.
Follow us on Instagram, Monogamy the web series. You'll find all of our personal social media on there as well. So there are multiple ways for you to get to Monogamy and for us to get back at you.
Yes,
There you go.
and it's definitely binge worthy, so make sure you guys check them out. You guys, thank you so much. Brandon
you.
Larkins,
Thank you for
Veronica
having us.
Burgess,
Burgess. Yeah,
Burgess.
you got it.
Ty Salisbury, Furry.
Salisbury.
I don't want to butcher anyone's name. Jessica Caesar.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
And Leith Burke.
Yes.
From Shannon Fox.
That wasn't on the notes. She did that off the top. That
That was
was
your
impressive.
research.
I couldn't do that. I've known these people for years.
Hey, you.
Hey, what's the name?
Thank you guys
Thank you.
so much. Thank you guys so much for spending time
Thank you
with
for having
me,
us.
for
Thank
raising
you.
your presence
Thank you.
on
Thank
Foxy
you.
TV.
Foxy
You
TV,
guys,
y'all.
you can find their individual social media pages and websites probably from the
The-
Monogamy
yeah,
series
yeah.
page,
They're-
right?
right.
Yes.
Monogamy on our IG has everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can find each of them on there. Make sure you guys support what they're doing, their work, their journey, their talent. Make sure you tune into season 1 and 2 on YouTube, and the website, monogamytheseries.com. And make sure you stay tuned. You guys are going to love the show. And hey, I will love you forever if you subscribe to our YouTube channel and connect with us on social media. You can find Foxy TV Media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and of course, go ahead and click that subscribe button on YouTube. I'll see you guys again soon. Thanks so much for watching. I'm your host, Shannon Fox, and you're watching Foxy TV.
That was good.